have to click and say that my videos are not made for kids every single time I upload. And the audience is for anyone, but I mean, I guess it's not strictly made for kids. I don't know. It's very weird. So, by the description under there, I was doing a little bit more reading and found out more eye issues that have been associated with low T. And one of them is dry eye. The problem is that I can't really find the actual, I haven't done too much digging yet to find out more about that study. When was it done? Has there been anything, recently about dry eye and low T? I don't know. So, what I do know is that I have been using a eye mask at night. Sort of an eye mask. It's more or less a hair thing like this that I'm got over my face, and kind of it's wrapped around my head there. Probably not the best thing to do. However, I am noticing that when I do my nightly drops and then put this on, and I did it one night just because I wanted to try blocking out all of the light to see if that helped with my sleep, which it really didn't. But one thing that it did help out with is my left eye pain. Uh, so I have these little blisters that pop up from little ruptured blood vessels on my eye. And these blisters sound about as painful as you think they are. And every time I blink, it's like sandpaper rubbing over each one. And I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but we blink a whole lot throughout the day. So it's from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. It is painful. What sucks is that I was like, well, I mean, I'm not blinking at night, so you think I would get some sort of respite, but that's not the case. So I tried covering my eyes with the mask, and I put my eye drops in, put refresh in my, I just trimmed my nose hairs, and it's still, I've got this weird nose sensation if you see me fiddling with my nose. So I got the eye mask on, do my eye drops, put the eye mask on, and I've noticed a significant improvement in my left eye. Because I'm doing, like, religiously, I'm using refresh all throughout the day. I mean, at least every 2 hours that I'm awake, I'm putting in a drop in each eye, because it just seems like they're not getting hydrated. Like, it's just this weird sensation. And that's in both eyes. I've noticed a significant improvement in the left eye. Maybe the right. But I'm also wondering if this is not due to low T as well, because the study again does say, from what's been quoted from the study, is that it does increase certain eye conditions and can give you glaucoma-like symptoms. One sec. So I'm wondering, I had one surgery in my right eye, which held up for a very long time. And when I say long time, I mean like I had this done prior to it was like the first and only surgery in my right eye that I'd ever had. It maintained proper flow throughout, up until last November is whenever they changed that drainage. I say changed, they went in and created a new drainage. But I'm wondering if the reason why the pressures were raised was because of the low T. I don't know what percentage it raises the IOP in the eye, but it would be interesting to know if that could potentially cause such a jump up, because all of the doctors have looked at it and they're like, well, it's just not doing good enough. And I understand some things they fail, but it's like, I don't know. It would just be really, it would be interesting to know. And I'm going to contact my last ophthalmologist in Colorado and kind of pick their brain about it and see what they think. Just for, if anything, just to make them aware of it, because I don't know that they're even familiar with that. But I'm not going to contact them until I start treatment, just so I can say, hey, look, notice how this is, because potentially what's going to happen is my pressure right now is around 8. And if my pressure is elevated, the IOP is elevated due to low T, it could potentially drop more, which might be an issue, but it may not cause it to do anything. I don't know. These are just things that I think about, because no one, like, you can't talk to, like, it seems like any ophthalmologist that you talk to, or any doctor, when you try to have a discussion with them, you're not a doctor, so why are we having these discussions? Which I think is really crappy, because, I mean, some people actually study and are concerned about their health and want to know things, and they educate themselves and they want to have a discussion. I can't ask these questions to anyone else except for a medical professional. So why kind of get offended that I'm asking questions? Like, I don't need, if you don't have an answer, that's okay. You don't have to give me a bogus answer, but at least, like, hear me out, because I don't know, like, isn't this what we're supposed to communicate about our health? I don't know. That's just kind of me rambling about it. But I am, like I said, I am going to bring it up to them. And when I find the study that was done, I'll post it in this so that I can further kind of spread that information, so that people that, instead of, because where I read it was from like an article that was just kind of discussing it. They didn't cite the source. So it makes it very difficult to track down the information, because now I have to take your word for it. And I don't like taking someone's word if you aren't, like, you need some proof to back it up. Basically, if you don't have proof to back it up, then it's just kind of an opinion or just an outright lie. And that's what makes it kind of scary in the medical community, because a lot of people are, not the medical community, but just people in general, they're talking about subjects that there may not be they're not an accredited expert, so they basically, I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, even if you are an accredited expert, you should still cite your source unless it's research that you have done. If it's something that you're repeating in order to share that information, cite that source so we know where it came from, so I can then say, okay, here's where it came from. I, I don't know. Like, it's very important. This is something that I learned in high school. Like, the importance of citing sources, because I can't take your word for it. I don't know you, like, well enough to assume that you're telling me the absolute truth. And I don't know anyone that well, because people can pass off information as true with a very straight face. But that's besides the point. Like, cite sources. If you're writing an article, cite a source. You have to. Like, it makes everything go more smoothly, because when information changes, 9 times out of 10, it's going to evolve over time. People can see and trace it back and make their own decisions and say, okay, this is where it changed, or around this time. Like, there's just a whole lot that's involved to it. And if I can't track down the information, I can't really use it. Like, I feel kind of weird saying, okay, there's, could potentially be a link between IOP and low T, because I haven't really read the study, because I can't find it. I haven't had the time to really dig for it, because the one article that was discussing it didn't cite it. So it's just kind of frustrating, but that's all I'm going to really go into here. I'm going to go and get an actual eye mask, because using a fabric, kind of a hair tie thing, is not to say it's not hygienic, but I need to be able to have an eye mask that I can kind of sanitize and clean every night, instead of a cloth one. So, yeah, it would make me feel a lot better, because it's something that I'm wearing over my eyes for, an extended period of time every night. I need to be able to clean it, and yeah. But I'm going to continue to do the eye mask thing and see if that helps out with my dry eyes, even though, I haven't really had a suggestion from my ophthalmologist about anything that could potentially improve it. So I'm glad that I've decided to use one on my own accord. So hopefully it's helping, because I know that my eye feels significantly better. I don't feel as though I'm got shards of glass in my eye. So, all right, that's really where I'll leave it.